Hello and welcome to my channel. Today's video is my 100th video, and the topic I would like to address in this video is basically about what this channel concerns. Now, this channel is a multifaceted channel, and it deals with three general aspects of my topic. Now, this is in particular the historical information concerning the Montandan watch dynasty, these makers, etc. So what we are basically discussing in these videos is a history, and this is information that has been gathered from historical sources, etc. Genealogy of this particular family, as these makers are all related, they all share a same common ancestor, and this also aids in identifying various objects fabricated by these makers. And the third aspect is naturally the watches themselves, or horology. So we have these three areas that are the main concentration of this channel, and I do feel that this is an interesting topic because this brand is very poorly comprehended in general. However, the name continues to gather a lot of interest at auctions when these objects materialize for sale. And now many of these pieces are retained in private collections. And it is the hope that this channel will reach out to them, and any individuals who are interested in learning more about this brand, these makers, possible candidates for these objects. And this is to include art dealers, auctioneers, private collectors, pocket watch enthusiasts, genealogical interested folks, genealogy buffs, history buffs, anybody who's interested in Swiss watch history or Swiss watches in general. Watchmakers themselves may be motivated by this because so very little is known about these makers, and it is incumbent to spread this information, especially as the bigger picture comes into sight after the research I've been conducting. So this is an area which these makers were able to spread out across the globe, and they originated in Neuchâtel Canton in Switzerland. However, they were able to transplant to other parts of Europe, in France, in the Paris and Besançon areas, for example, Lyon, Clermont-Ferrand, but also in Europe, in Germany, in Krefeld, we find this area, in Denmark. We do see them operating in England, and under a partnership, and of course to North and South America we find them. But I would like to share this information with the public. Now, this is mainly related to research I am doing for a book which I hope to be publishing relatively soon. This book has approximately 700 pages. This book is covering the periods between the early 18th century until the mid-20th century. And a lot of very good information has been unearthed, documented, and this book is going to be one of the fruits. But also, I would like, after this book is published, I would like to work towards the establishment of a watch museum, and this would be related to the at least 100 objects that I possess, that I have come to collect, but also original documents and other related historical data for this, and then all the associated source material, documentation, etc. I would be basically developing this in this direction towards this type of historical preservation, something that can be returned to the community, because this is a family brand that has become very synonymous in the 19th century with quality, with high watch precision, and the name is recognized. Now, there are, of course, many people have forgotten of this brand, yet during the 19th century, we know, especially with their winnings at various different international expositions around the globe, that this name routinely, consistently took medals and at these shows. So this is something that has slipped from the public conscious, but yet it is still a factor. And indeed, this family did develop a system for spring calibration, which is in effect still utilized today. And this is one of half a dozen spring calibration systems that were in use, but it continues to be used even today, which I find amazing. And you can still find these spring and spring barrel gauges for calibrating and determining the size, etc. of these. So this is really a fascinating and very deep subject we find on multiple sides of this of the watch business. But I am very appreciative of all of the feedback and collaboration that I've received thus far. And I think that this is a measure of the interest in this brand, but also in the sort of solving these mysteries that we find in these objects, which this is the material evidence that we examine in the horological side of this, that we have this material evidence, and that there is a huge curiosity to solve the mystery of where the maker came from, who the maker was indeed, a little bit of the backstory. And this is always an interest for somebody who comes to possess an object, an heirloom, or maybe it's been in the family for generations. And so, but I am very interested in establishing a contact with the owners of such watches. It is very interesting to probe the backstory behind these pieces, to identify their actual location of fabrication, which this can differ from the actual dust cover signing. But this material evidence is very rich, and so I appreciate any owners who reach out, and indeed museums who, there are many museums that have pieces signed by a Montanan maker, yet they have very little information or evidence of their origins. And so I am at the disposal of these museums. I have worked with several museums already, including almost predominantly the Louvre Museum in Paris. They have one of the oldest Montanan watches by Yersin and Montandon, and this was very interesting in collaborating with them and sharing the information about this David Montandon, and this was very excellent. But recently, I have also traveled to Besançon in France and discussed an object in their collection as well by Frédéric Montandon, signed Fique Montandon. Now, I continue to work with other museums, including not only on watches. There is the Museum of the Fine Arts Museum, Musée des Beaux-Arts in La Chaux-de-Fonds, who possesses 3 paintings by the most famous Swiss painter. This is Leopold Robert, and these are paintings of 3 Montandons, a whole family, which this family is indeed a watchmaking family. And the principal in this family, the head of the family, was Charles Frederick Montandon, who was a courtier en horlogerie. And then there is a portrait of his wife and his eldest child. This is Charles Henry Montandon, Charles Henry Gabriel Montandon. So this was very interesting in working with them. There are several other museums that I would like to work with. However, one is a private museum, and it has not been possible to establish a communication with the owner in Spain. But this is one one project I would love to work with. And another museum in Italy, in northern Italy, with a very old Montagnard piece signed Les Frères Montandon, and this has an Adam and Eve painting on the dial. It's very beautiful, very old piece, certainly before 1820s. But this, once again, has been very hard. This is a somewhat private museum, and so these are objects that remain in my scope, and I would like to, at some point or another, work with them and explain who is behind these pieces, a little bit about the probable history. Now, in the case of the watch in Italy, this was actually signed La Chaux de Fonds, and we have an extremely good idea. These were the founders of Montagnard. But so we have this really rich history. And another project that I would like to be introducing to this channel is a very specialized literary side. And that would be discussing the books that I use, my reference material, but or other books which contain information related to the history of the brand. But I would like to give a sneak peek of, this is an example of one such excellent piece of historical work. And we have a very interesting watchmaker who is discussed in this book. So this will probably be a series of short videos, probably on YouTube Shorts, but related to this side of this literary recommendations for people interested in reading about the history of watches or various different source material that I have used. So this was just a short video celebrating my 100th video. I would like to thank my followers for your steadfast support, your excellent feedback, and the caliber and quality of our cooperation that we've been able to enjoy. And now, oftentimes this channel is on location, so I would like to continue this. Also, I need mention that this on location videos of historical locations related to various watchmakers who are important in the history of the brand. So this brings this filming on location, brings a little bit of the width and breadth of this subject out, and it has received a bigger audience of viewership, as this is always interesting when somebody is traveling, but when it's related to a certain discipline, for example, the history of these watches, then this becomes a little bit more open to the wider public. And one video actually related to this also brought very good high views. We also have been breaking records as far as viewership, and one Archaeology, our history video of this pocket watch archaeology sort of series on Montagnard watch from approximately 1869, was able to garner over 2,300 views, which for this channel is quite record-breaking. And I would also like to thank all viewers for watching this and partaking. And once again, anyone interested in this and having questions, please reach out. My contact information will be provided on the channel itself, so you can reach me by email, but I should also offer a contact at the end of this video. So I once again thank you for your interest in this channel and for helping make it a success. We do see upward momentum. We see growing numbers of subscribers, and there is a lot of room for improvements and growth and doing new things. So thank you. and I wish you a very nice weekend. Bye-bye.